Welcome to City Stadium in Richmond, the capital of Virginia, where we have a fantastic match between the upstart South Georgia Tormenta FC and host Richmond Kickers. I'm Josh Toll, and Tormenta is making a name for themselves early in League One play as they are off to a 2-0 start. For the Richmond Kickers, they are backed by the Red Army, and both team and supporters are looking for their first win in league play. Richmond looks to spoil Tormenta's fun and come out with 3 points, and we have all the action for you right here on ESPN+. And what a match we have for you tonight as we look back at some of the highlights from the first match for Richmond Kickers falling to Lansing. Unfortunately, they could not get enough with that goal from Maxi Rodriguez late in the second half. It would be followed up here as we get a penalty in the box. Joe Gallardo would go to the spot, and Gallardo would bury it in the back, but unfortunately for Richmond, they would fall as they were not able to get the equalizer late in their first match at home here in Richmond. For South Georgia Tormenta, it has been a different story. Got their first victory 1-0 over Greenville Triumph FC, and then 3-1 over FC Tucson on Wednesday night. And what a game once again for Tormenta, again already making their name known as Alex Morel here would find the back of the net in a big victory, 3-1 for Tormenta with the final score. But here, the goal possibly of the week by Marco Micheletto with that left boot, that curl into that back post. What a beautiful strike and a beautiful finish to put Lansing away. But what a match we have for tonight. Richmond Kickers, South Georgia Tormenta FC right here on ESPN+.
At CBS 6, our office is out here.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers. New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Welcome back to City Stadium here in Richmond, Virginia, as Richmond gets set for their second match of the 2019 USL League One campaign. For South Georgia Tormenta, this will be their third match. Again, they got a victory 3-1 over FC Tucson on Wednesday night to go with their 1-0 victory over Greenville Triumph FC. The first week of play, Richmond Kickers looking to bounce back after that 2-3 loss against Lansing. As you take a look at their starting 11 tonight, some new faces in for the Kickers. Scott Thompson getting his first action of the year, as well as Boateng. That's Charles Boateng, first start out of Ghana U20 on loan from Western African Football Academy. One of the men you have to watch out for, though, is Daniel Jackson, the striker. Not enough things that David Below could say about him and what this man brings to the club. Just a very smart player and great with the ball on his boot. And now we'll take a look at the starting 11 for South Georgia Tormenta FC. And what a start for John Miglaris and Tormenta Marco Meccaletto, the number 10, you got to watch out for him. Again, you saw in the opening highlights what he can do with that left boot as he put one in the back corner in the victory over FC Tucson. Also watch out for the center back, Lars Eckenrode, and Joshua Phelps, as well as having a good start this season. But in that victory against FC Tucson, the man of the match, Connor Antley, assisting on every goal, and what a performance Connor Antley had. A player that has been in the top 50 PDL for Tormenta, and also last season, two-time National Team of the Week and National Player of the Week once. But right now, Tormenta FC is firing on all cylinders, and this really shouldn't be a surprise. Last year, they won the Deep South Championship, now up in USL League One, as they look to make a name for themselves once again. I think for everyone in the soccer world, they know who the Richmond Kickers are. They've been around since 1993, starting off a little slow, but that's because they have a lot of new faces. Just 5 returning players from last year's squad. Those 5 players, Greg Bain, Matt Bolduck, Connor Shinosky, Scott Thompson, who's getting that start tonight, and Braden Troyer as well for the Kickers. But a very different year and a different look, and now they're looking to get things going in the right direction for South Georgia Tormenta. In the net, getting another first start is 17 Amakwa at Ohio State. But once again, keeper Pablo Yara just allowed 1 goal so far, 4 saves. We'll see how he plays tonight. It's just another player that brings so much, as we have an injured player down here early for Richmond, and you hope this is nothing serious, especially since we're not even a minute in, but able to get up is Boateng, that new player for Richmond Kickers. As we'll get a replay of him being tripped up there on the tackle. That tackle by Neil Vignals. Also a new look tonight for Tormenta. We're just seeing their away kits for the first time, just all white kits tonight. Going away from that navy blue and magenta home look, which is just absolutely stunning for their next home game. That's something to check out, or go back and check out the replays. Very beautiful kits that they put together there down in Statesboro, Georgia. Ball sent to the middle of the field, and that's going to be taken down on the play by Lockerbie, pushed up. Boateng tries to reverse it back, and that's just going to be played out for a throw for South Georgia Tormenta. Pando to throw it in. Neil Vignals, known as El Maestro for Tormenta. See how the Maestro plays this evening here in Richmond on a beautiful night. Akira Fitzgerald has gotten every start for Richmond. I guess it's only 1, but still 3 goals against, trying to get his team back up. When talking to head coach David Blow, just love the communication that Akira brings and his decisiveness out there in the frame of the net. Ball on the boot of Amakana. Goes back. Played forward by sent down just outside the box, and that's going to be shoulder away, and that's going to come down to Pando. Pando just goes over the top. Akwe on the near side. Akwe also out of Ghana, along with Amas Amakona and Boateng. Boateng actually playing U20s. And that's going to be played forward. And moving up is Tormenta. With it on his boot is Dennis, and we'll have a throw-in, and this will go for Richmond. As we enter the 4th minute, throw-in coming for Scott Thompson. Again, another player getting first action out of Brick, New Jersey, playing at University of Virginia. So in the state of Virginia, Thompson, well known. Back in 2016, played with Orlando City B. This is his 3rd season with the Kickers. Pushing forward is Rodriguez. That to the far touchline. Now moved up. Bolduc. And clearing it away is Lars Eckenrode. And that'll go up to midfield. Magalhaes. Akwe. Near side. Lockaby. Lockaby. Works his way towards the circle. Plays it back. Akwe. Magalhaes. Far side. Now up the touchline. In pursuit. Gallardo. Gallardo, the corner. And that's going to go up and over the head. And Lockaby unable to get there. Had a chance to find Daniel Jackson. But that ball continued to rise over the striker's head. And now a throw-in for Richmond. For Eli Lockaby, the 23-year-old, played college ball at VCU. Pando turns, plays it up the touchline, and throw in once again for Lockaby. Amankona works his way back towards midfield. He'll play it to the back row. Magalhaes plays it to the left side. Jackson. Gallardo with Eckenrode on him. Sent in, and that's going to be deflected off of Nicholas Wells and out of play. First corner kick coming of the afternoon for Richmond. First corner of the match coming, and Maxi Rodriguez, the captain from San Antonio, Texas, University of NC at Charlotte product. And he'll do a short corner. Bolduc into the box. Plays it back out to Rodriguez. Bending in. That back post pass just out. And we'll have a goal kick coming for South Georgia Tormenta FC. Not enough good things head coach David Below could say about Maxi Rodriguez, and kind of really surprised him coming in and how vocal he was and how much he understood the game and just his leadership that he brought to the squad. Just motivating, hardworking, one of the large reasons why he was named captain to this kicker squad. Vinyals. Far side. Wells working his way up. Excuse me, that's Antley working his way up. Goes up on the touchline. Cut back, but no one there for Tormenta. An easy play out for Richmond. Turning with his Bolduc. And Bolduc is brought to the pitch. We'll see if this will go down just as a foul or if we'll see some other colors come out. As there you see the trip up. Bolduc elevated into the air, but nothing warranting a card here early as we are in the 8th minute. Boateng's going to lose possession, but that'll be last touch by Richmond. And a throw-in now coming for Tormenta FC and Dalton Pando. At midfield, and just playing it out. Just a bad first touch there by Amankwa. Amankwa getting his first action, the former All-American out of Ohio State last year with Myrtle Beach Mutiny. One of the things that he brings to this club is just very strong play, and he can play multiple roles in different formations. So a player to watch out for, Ya Amakawa, again, former All-American at Ohio State, as Richmond controls possession, going down the far touchline. And nothing going for the kickers here, as that will roll out of play for a goal kick. Pablo Yara, one of 3 players, team of the week for Tormenta FC. Just has allowed 1 goal against, has made 4 saves. Marco Micheletto, another one of those players on team of the week for this Tormenta squad. Tormenta just being patient, working the ball up, not afraid to go back to that back row. Again, you wonder how much fatigue will play a factor. This is their third game in 8 days. But the one thing is they have been able to utilize substitutions, start different players, and just have a good rotation going here early in the season. So hopefully for them, that's not going to be a problem. Now for Richmond Kickers, if it is a problem, they're going to want to take advantage of that, see how that plays out. Maybe not so much in the first half, but we'll see how it plays out here in the second half tonight. Once these Tormenta players possibly get a little bit tired, you never know. With a lot of them being younger guys, how much they can actually run for, but they're going to have to run a full 90 if they want to compete with this Richmond Kickers squad. Phelps, the Australian. Eckenrode's brother Yannick is actually on Richmond. There'll be a nice piece that we'll show for you here at halftime. That was greatly done by the staff with Richmond. The media staff just doing an excellent job putting a piece on what it meant for Yannick to be playing his older brother, Lars. We'll have that piece at half for you, but just a great, great brother relationship, and you'll get to see that as Richmond try and turn with his Jackson, tripped up, no foul. Akwe, Amakona, back to Akwe. Over the head, and then chested down, Eckenrode. Plays it forward to Gomez. Dennis. Plays it back. Antley. Antley across. Move forward. Pando. Spins away, gets by Boateng. A good help by Lockerbie after Pando was able to get by Boateng. Lockerbie right there, and a throw in for Richmond. Richmond in their 26th professional season. 1993 was their first year. This is their first season coming down to League One play. South Georgia Tormenta, a relatively young team, but again, not frightened by a team that's been around 23 years longer than they have. Akwe, Lockerbie, down the touchline, Boateng brings it back. Amakona. Rodriguez pays it to the far side, gets it right back. Magalhaes, Akwe. Akwe plays it forward. And that's going to be headed away by Tormenta. And Rodriguez will regain possession. Magalhaes. Amakona at the circle. Lockerbie. Oh, trying to get a through ball through was Micheletto, just unable, was Gallardo for Richmond, just unable to slip that one through, trying to find Boateng. Gallardo, one goal. That coming in the 76th minute in the loss to Lansing. It was the first ever meeting between Richmond Kickers and Lansing. This is also the first meeting ever between these two squads. Richmond, a lot of new faces. Another new face, you have his former Davidson men's soccer coach takes over as president, and Matt Spear, trying to change things back around. That was one of the things that head coach David Bulow talked about, is just trying to get things back to what it was in the glory days when this team was winning championships. Bulow won a championship his first year there as a player in 2006. Been a total of 15 years that he's been with Richmond Kickers. We'll have a foul. As tripped up was Charlie Dennis, and a kick coming for South Georgia Tormenta. Statesboro Base Club. Pando, cross, headed away. Amakona brings it down, can't control. Good slide tackle there by Gomez to win possession. Dennis works his way inside, chip pass, and that's going to go over the head of everyone, and it'll find its way to Kira Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald out of Chiba, Japan, 5'11", 174-pound goalkeeper. Jackson can't win possession there as it's taken away by Tormenta. Boateng. Inside, and that one just rising above. And that's really been a theme here early for the Richmond Kickers, just the inability to connect on shots like that and find the back of the net. Gallardo with the pass in, and then just lifted up and over the crossbar. Just a mistake you don't want to see. A lot of video work done this week for Richmond as they try to correct a lot of mistakes that was more coming from the back end, from the back four and in the midfield. And a lot of that's just trying to break old habits is what Coach was saying, and trying to get everyone on the same page, just buy in to what he is trying to coach and teach out there. And once that trust is gained, I think Richmond is going to see a change in things. But for Tormenta, they trust one another all the way down and up the roster. A large reason for their success here early in the season, as they already have 4 goals on the year, just have allowed 1 on this young season. Now be kicked away by Yara. Joshua Phelps, Marco Micheletto, and Yara all on that first team, that first week. And you look at what they did on Wednesday night, you might think with a 1-0 victory over Greenville Triumph that they could possibly have even more players in that team of the week here for week 2. We'll wait and see what happens with that. But what a start for Tormenta. And really tonight, haven't had much in the way of chances, but have been very good at just controlling, being patient, and not doing anything that's going to give themselves a disadvantage in terms of how they play the ball, and just controlling it rather than turning it over. Vinyals moves it forward. Amankwa back. Antley to Eckenrode. Joshua Phelps. Headed down, but Eckenrode steps up. Vinyals plays it outside, gets it back, good 1-2. Trying to just slide that one through, unable to. Had Dennis on the outside. Lockaby plays it back to Fitzgerald, and he'll just play it up as that will come towards the near touchline. And Boateng will let that go out, and they're gonna say last touch by Richmond. Marco Micheletto doing a good job of staying away from that. Pando with the throw in. Gomez. Far side. Micheletto. Into the box, and that's gonna rise over Pando. Good looking pass there, just needed to be a little bit more on a flat line there for Pando to get his head on it. But good chance there in terms of what both players were thinking. Just unable to connect on the pass. Rodriguez, the captain. Lockaby. Akwe. Aguilez. Amankona just outside the circle. Turned over by the Kickers. Gomez turns. Gomez on the return pass. Dennis back to Gomez. Vinyals. Pando works it back in. Great pass. Vinyals working his way to the box. And Vinyals can't control as that's taken away by the kickers. Good pass there in to Vinyals, who is streaking up the pitch. Just not able to hold on to possession. Now Gomez plays it back. Eckenrode. Gomez trying to work his way back inside, gets around Gallardo. Just outside the box. And we're gonna have a handball outside. And kick coming for Richmond. Rodriguez. Magalhaes. That's Sao Paulo, Brazil. Pando's just going to head it right back to Yara, and Yara's going to pick it up. Pando. Trying to get to Dennis, but Boateng with that left foot blocks it down, trying to chip it ahead. Just trying to find Gallardo, just unable to connect on the pass. Vinyals, the Spaniard. See his third action, getting his third start of the 2019 campaign. Eckenrode. For his team to get set up now. Finds a little movement that he likes. And Rodriguez called for the foul. Sent up. And that in the area of Dennis and Pando. But headed back on the play. And now Fitzgerald will come out with it. Lockaby. Amankona. Spinning, turning. Ackway. Right back to Fitzgerald. Kickers have no problem building from the back. Rodriguez. Not crisper passing tonight than there was last week. Boateng with a shot. Oh, just curls wide. Boateng was slipping down on that as well. But there, Richmond seeing Boateng get some action for the first time. Brings it down with his chest, sliding into it, and just, you wonder if he doesn't slide, if he's able to get a good plant, if maybe he can get a slightly better ball on that and find that on frame. Boateng, left foot. So he tries right foot and then he tries left foot. Boateng getting a little bit of a run here, getting a little bit of feel for the goal. Just unfortunately for him right now, just a little bit off on both sides. Eckenrode works it over to Phelps. Phelps sends it down the pitch to the far side, chest it down. That one intended for Dennis, unable to get there. Gomez trying to charge back and take it away. Played back to Phelps. Lockaby. Amankona works to the right of Dennis. Ackway. Magalhaes. Rodriguez, the captain. Amankona. Try and cut that one through. But right there, step in front is the center back, Eckenrode. Tripped up on the play is Jackson. He's going to earn a foul. And Richmond here looking to set up, as we'll take a replay at that foul. Eckenrode sliding through and tripping up Jackson as he face plants onto the surface. Right now Richmond controlling possession at 52%, South Georgia Tormenta at 47%. Rodriguez setting up. Sends it in. And that's going to go well over everyone and out of play. Missed opportunity there for the Kickers on that piece. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the finest leagues in the world since 1947. Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Nicoletto, Pando, Nicoletto with the man coming on, plays it back to Phelps. Antley right at midfield. Cuts in. Trying to play it back, but no one there. And Boateng takes away, but then Antley plays it forward. Headed down, and that's going to go out of play. Last touch by Tormenta. Rodriguez. Amankwa. Phelps. Vinyals. Into the circle. Dennis. Plays it inside, trying to get it into Amankwa, but Akwe there to take it. And they're going to say, no, that didn't go out on the end line. Tormenta not happy with that, but they regain possession. They wanted that corner kick. They want to give themselves a chance there, but now they'll have to work for it. Antley, right up the touchline. Dennis, good 1-2 combo. And once again, trying to find Amankwa. Was Nicholas Wells that time on the pass, just not able to get it there. Lockerbie. Try to go over the top, and we're going to have offsides against Gallardo. Great pass attempt there at Gallardo. Just past that back row, and the flag went up. And you wonder if he's able to collect that, if he's onside, if maybe Richmond has their first lead in a game. There you go. See, it goes over the head of Phelps. But unfortunately, Gallardo offsides for the Kickers. Kickers have trailed in their one other match. South Georgia Tormenta has yet to trail. Akwe, Lockerbie, Amakona back to Akwe. Right down the middle. Boateng was sprinting down the center, just unable to get to that one. And that'll be rolled out by Yara. Boateng had a couple of chances, none hitting frame. But Yara, knowing that he has to be ready tonight for this kicker squad. Kickers looking for their first win. Tormenta, meanwhile, looking for their third win of the season. 2 games here in the second week. 8-day span. For Richmond, they won't have 3 games in an 8-day span. That won't be until September. And they'll have that twice, once to start the month out and then once to end the season. Antley trying to cut through. Antley not afraid to come out from that back row, as was seen on Wednesday night. 3 assists on the evening. And then Phelps knocking over Gallardo. And this is going to earn Phelps a yellow card. For Phelps, that'll be his first yellow card on the season.
Number 7, Dalton Pando in the 30th minute.
Our announcer said Pando, but I'm pretty sure that's against Phelps. Gallardo standing to the left of the ball, Thompson to the right. Some jostling, and our official will go over and try to calm things down, give a little warning to both teams. See Phelps, the man with the yellow card. Thompson sends it in. High ball, headed, and that is going to go out. And once again, nothing for Pablo Yara to worry about. Set up nicely, just unable to finish. As you look at the elevation there on the play by Ackway. But unfortunately, that ball finds the left of the frame rather than finding the mouth of it. Pando. Ancona. Phelps clears it to the middle. Vinyals from Gomez. Vinyals able to get around one man, that's Gallardo. But then Rodriguez takes it away for the kickers. Ackway. So we're in the 32nd minute here at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. Aguiles. Ancona. Rodriguez, back to Ackway. Lockaby, near side. A lot of high hopes for Lockaby, number 17 for Richmond. A player that they think could be one of the best young players in League One. Fitzgerald. First ever meeting between these two squads, looking for the first ever goal between one another. The question, will it be Richmond scoring first, or will it be South Georgia Tormenta FC? Tormenta with 4 goals on the season, Richmond with 2. Tormenta has played one more game. Again, they got that victory 3-1 over FC Tucson. And indeed, the yellow card was to Pando, or excuse me, to Phelps, not to Pando, like was announced. Richmond with an opportunity, Jackson, and Jackson just cannot get control of the ball. If he has possession, he can easily get a shot on. And then the turnover by Richmond. Lockaby trying to fight for it back, unable to. And Micheletto plays it out to Dennis. Dennis with Ackway in front of him. Far side. Amenkwa. Micheletto. Dennis. Trying to slip that one through, just unable to. Phelps. Right back to Phelps from Pando. But what a chance there for Richmond. Unable to finish, though. Just one of those ones where, again, it's still early. You're still looking for better communication, just better chemistry, and maybe we're seeing a little bit of that, but I just think that was a mental error right there. As here you see Bulldog fight through the defenders, and then the beautiful diagonal pass to Jackson, and then I don't know if Jackson thought Yarrow was going to come out, and that's what maybe startled him a little bit, made him hesitate, but a missed opportunity there for Daniel Jackson and this Richmond squad. Tormenta now trying to take advantage. Sent in, headed up. That's going to go out. And no danger there for Richmond. Down the line, Boateng trying to chase, but Antley right there in front of him, and Antley doing a good job of shielding off Boateng. She loved the use of the body there by Connor Antley, just shielding away, just boxing out, pushing Boateng towards the touchline and giving himself room between the inline and the ball. Just good defensive position there by Connor Antley. And that'll be headed up and out of play by Scott Thompson. Dennis on the throw. And they're going to give this one to Richmond. The Red Army strong in support tonight here in Richmond, Virginia. Amenkwa. Nicoletto. Nicoletto hesitates, tries to send it across, trying to find Pando. And then we're going to have a foul on the play. Getting a little aggressive there was Neil Vignals, taking Gallardo down. We have one yellow card to Phelps of Tormenta. That one back in the 29th minute. Tormenta team projected to be one of the best teams in League One, and really it shouldn't come as a surprise, being that they are the Deep South champions from last season. Moving up to League One play, making the trip north from Statesboro, Georgia to Richmond, Virginia. Fans, follow Richmond and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Lots of other great things you can find on ESPN+, including a variety of different shows, but definitely the best place for your League One action. Two games already played this week. Back Wednesday, we got that victory for Tormenta over FC Tucson 3-1, and then Friday, Orlando B fell to Toronto 0-2. Ackway. Looking at some games in the top right tonight. Fort Madison getting their first action at home. Another new club. Phelps plays it back, but it comes right to the foot of Jackson. Again, just Richmond not able to hold on to these crisp passes that they're getting, just turn the ball over and not able to gain possession. If they can gain possession, maybe make a move of some sort or just get a good one-touch, a good volley attempt, anything, just trying to make a threat there on Yara. Just a little bit more composure and see if things can maybe change. Boateng had a couple of opportunities earlier in this half, just was unable to find the back of the net as both his shots went wide. As that is going to be played out of play by Wells. Throwing coming for Richmond. Boateng back outside. Boateng turns, fires, and that one once again just to the left. And you can see what the man from Ghana is doing this afternoon. 3 good tries for Boateng. See the nice little pass in, and then Boateng works it outside. Good, just really 3 passes there, and just played out. But Charles Boateng in his first game on loan from Western African Football Academy. He scored in qualifying for 2019 FIFA U20 World Cup play, and looking to score tonight with the chances that he's had, he might have a great opportunity this evening for the Kickers. Gallardo was trying to play that over to Boateng, but knocked out on the play by Connor Antley. Gallardo. High looping cross, and coming out. And the 6 was Yara to get that one away from Jackson. That's able to find the head of Jackson, or possibly the right foot. I have to think this time he buries it after the mistake he made earlier here in the first half, where he just had a bad decision, a hesitation, whatever he did, questioned himself, just unable to put what looked like a sure goal in earlier this afternoon. Rodriguez down the pitch, and no one there. Pando will turn, and he'll just send it back to his keeper, Pablo Yara. Yara already 1 clean sheet on the year. That one coming week 1. Rodriguez. Magalhaes. Akwe. 42nd minute here in the first half. Amankona. Tormenta. Dennis on it. And Dennis pushed down from behind and pushed down by Gallardo. Now a chance here about 5 to 10 yards outside the box for Tormenta. Charlie Dennis, the Englishman, played at Palm Beach Atlantic University. Played with Tormenta back in 2017. Last year, he was with Nashville FC, but an injury kept him out. Gomez setting up. Dennis to his right. Now Gomez will head off, and Dennis has his alignment. Dennis, and that one off the crossbar, and Fitzgerald getting a piece of that to help it find that crossbar and go out of play. What a fire there by Dennis. And the fingertips off Fitzgerald, doing enough to get that to go up and off the crossbar and out of play. What a chance there for Tormenta. Pando sends it in, and that'll be cleared out with ease by Richmond. First real threat for Tormenta right there on that piece. Oh, then a misplay, and Lockaby there to clear it high in the air. Rodriguez is able to get outside the box, and we'll have a head-to-head collision. But what could have been a nightmare there in terms of a possible goal going against Richmond, luckily cleared away, and then you have the collision there. But Tormenta here with 2 good chances in about the last minute and 30 seconds. So Tormenta, you have a Charlie Dennis shot as we'll go back and take a look at this last opportunity. Just Fitzgerald going out, runs in. I'm not sure if that was Dennis there that he ran into for Tormenta, but they're trying to go out and punch the ball and just not able to get anything on it. Lucky for him, Lockaby was there for Richmond and no one for Tormenta. If someone's going towards that back post for Tormenta FC, the team from Statesboro could very much have a goal as walking off on his own power as Amankwa. Great thing to see there. You just hope everyone's all right as well for Richmond. This is a great thing now for players to get some water, get hydrated, as Rodriguez was the other player involved. But both players up and on the pitch, and now walking off is Rodriguez, but great to see that both players are all right. You always worry about one of those collisions. See how much stoppage time we'll get. We're in the 46th minute of play here now in the first half, so have already entered stoppage time. Imagine some more will be added on after that accident in the box. Richmond Kickers still looking for their first win at home. This is their second game at home for Tormenta. They're looking for their first road win of the 2019 campaign, this also being their first game on the road. Akwe. Lockaby. Amakona, back to Akwe. 2 countrymen. Rodriguez.
3 minutes.
That's going to go too far for Lockaby, and that will cross the inline for a goal kick. 3 minutes of stoppage time officially. South Georgia Tormenta currently first in the standings with their 2 wins. They were second in the Week 1 power rankings, but looking to move up after that win on Wednesday, and if they get a win here tonight against Richmond, they very well could have that #1 spot in next week's power rankings. Is that sent high and above? Amakona. Yara. Chested up by Dennis. Rodriguez with the header. Good to see him back on the pitch. And there we will have a whistle, and that will just bring it back. Not a whistle for halftime. Antley with a throw-in, trying to make one last run here is Tormenta. Magalhaes. Tripped up is Rodriguez, but turning with his Micheletto. Dennis. Dennis with left foot, deflected and out. And a corner kick here coming late in the first half. Great job there by Richmond's Amos Amakona, getting back to Dennis from making a dangerous cross there. And possibly, who knows, if even a deflection could have gone in somewhere. He'll take whatever you can get it. Shot and their pass, and that's going to be headed away by Magalhaes. Gomez. We'll see this one go out on the far touchline. Micheletto. And now we will get that final whistle here in the first half. Some late chances there by South Georgia Tormenta FC, but just not enough to find the back of the net, but something good going forward, something they can build off coming into the second half and just settle things down. Again, this is their third game in 8 days. You do wonder how tired these players might be, but they had a couple good chances. Richmond Kickers, well, Charlie Boateng is looking really, really good in his first action of the year for the Kickers. He's had 3 opportunities, not able to find net, but then you also have that misplay by Daniel Jackson. But what a first half. We'll take a break here, and we'll be back with some more right here from Richmond.
CBS 6 is proud to be a partner of the Richmond Kickers. Start your day with CBS This Morning.
It's not just Zach's daydream. For the most epic weather coverage in Central Virginia, trust the CBS 6 Weather Authority.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
I'm a ball like a point guard, charge like a running back. See me in the backfield, boy, you don't want none of that. You don't want to see me. Hey, hey, y'all can't stop my full head of steam. I gotta put it all on the line. My people know I play hard all of the time, man. Game face on, hey, hey.
Get up with us. CBS 6 This Morning. Weekdays 4:30 to 7.
Hey, hey, I got my game face on, hey.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Welcome back to Richmond, Virginia. Our score at half, 0-0. Both teams with some chances, but unfortunately for either side, neither one finding the back of the net so far in the first half. We'll see if the second half is a different story for these two squads as you get a great look at the crowd tonight, the Red Army in support. But wow, what a first half with some chances. But earlier this week too, we had Yannick Eckenrode get a video of him filmed talking about growing up with his brother Lars, who happens to play for South Georgia Tormenta, and what a package it is. You wonder if Yannick could play tonight. He is as a substitution, but a great thing that was shot about the two brothers.
I don't really know how it's going to feel until I get there. You know, it's kind of a shock. We haven't shared a field in, I don't know, at least 10 years. We grew up actually playing together for a lot of our years. And it's just, you know, I'm really excited to be able to share the field with my brother, best friend. And, you know, we've been playing together since we've been, you know, babies, playing together, playing against each other. And now we get to do it at this level. And, you know, we're just both extremely lucky to be here. I mean, we grew up saying we want to do this. We grew up saying we want to be professional soccer players. We didn't set the goal that we want to play against each other or with each other, but, you know, here we are 10, 15 years later, and we're doing what we love, doing what we said we would do, and, you know, we get to share the pitch, and that's just a blessing. We're polite, you know, face-to-face we're polite, but of course, you know, we both want to win, and if I get the chance, I'm going to get stuck in on him, and if he gets a chance, he's going to clean my clock. So, you know, that's why you love the game, and that's why I love him.
Great little piece there. You wonder if Yannick might come in, and you could see that head-to-head matchup. I'm sure their parents are just a absolute wreck with nerves if that is going to happen. But now After that, we'll head to the goal and saves of the week from last week. And what a week it was in terms of scoring, in terms of saves here in League One play. Just an excellent start to League One play here in 2019.
All right.
Loose header there from Walepi, and Ponce there to make sure it got cleared as the ball is played long. Awkward there between Maurer and his defenders, just off the knee there. Dola trying to send it towards that area. Zayed leaving for Beatty, trying to catch the keeper out, and he scored! The first goal for Chattanooga Red Wolves. A first-time strike by the Irishman, Stephen Beatty. It's 3-1.
Ward gets the cross away. Phelps gets a touch to it. Ward steps through the header, back heel, and it's cleared off the line. How did that not find the back of the net? And this effort right in front. How's that for a save?
If there's one thing with USL Championship clubs, it's that they have a way to make the experience unique to their clubs. I'm on site here at BBVA Compass Field in Birmingham to talk a little bit about this iron factory they have on site. I'm joined by Marshall, the director of metal arts at Sloss Furnaces. So, Marshall, first off, tell us what an ingot is.
Okay, so an ingot is basically just a unit of iron.
Okay.
So it's just a way to make the iron portable and mobile and in a manner that can be sold.
Okay.
So the process that we're going to be doing in-game is a little bit different than the casting process. This is a forge setup. So typically used for blacksmithing. You're typically not trying to completely melt what you're working with. You're just raising the temperature enough that it can be malleable.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing throughout the game is taking one of these in our forge and getting it up to temperature red hot and having that on standby so that when we score a goal, we'll take it out of the forge, over to the ingot, and we have a special die with a spark on it off of the Legion logo.
Right.
And that'll be placed on it and struck with a hammer. It's a two-man operation. When we're ready, the assistant will take that. They'll take the die and put it in place, and then the other person will strike it with a hammer. So each goal that's scored will get a mark, hopefully a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so we have one for each game.
Okay.
So to have the team that they're playing, and so throughout the season, throughout the years, we'll begin to accumulate these and create an iron wall back here with each ingot from the games.
That's going to be amazing. How cool is that for people to come in too and kind of see this little, you know, characteristic of Birmingham? That's awesome. Hammer down!
You know, they can tell how hot the steel is by the color. Burning up, red hot.
0-0 here at halftime in Richmond, Virginia. And what a game we have. Wondering what's going to happen here in the second half. But before that, some news and notes. What's going around in the league for you. You look at goal one coming from South Georgia Tormenta. That one on Friday of last week. That first historic goal. Player of the week with a hat trick, Ricardo Pepe. And then called up to U17 for the USA. So what a week for this 16-year-old. And then welcome to the pitch, Toronto FC 2 and Forward Madison FC making debuts. And Chattanooga and Greenville will host their first matches as well here in League One. As we take a look at the action, again, you go back to Wednesday, Tormenta with that 3-1 victory over FC Tucson. Orlando City B still in search for their first victory, but Toronto FC getting their first with that 2-0 win. And then you see the games that are starting here in just about an hour between Chattanooga Red Wolves and Forward Madison. Forward Madison getting that first game at home here in League One action, but we'll take another break. And when we come back, second half action for you right here on ESPN Plus between Richmond and South Georgia Tormenta.
March Madness on CBS 6. No matter what mood you're in, we'll be here for you in the morning. Weekdays 4:30 to 7.
Being a former college basketball player, I just love March Madness. Enjoy the games on CBS 6. And watch CBS 6 News at 11.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
The most connected morning team to each other and Central Virginia. And it's a good thing they are. CBS 6 This Morning.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still obvious on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Welcome back into Richmond, Virginia. Josh Toll with you as we take a look back at the first half highlights and some action from this afternoon's game between the Kickers and Tormenta FC. Both teams with opportunities, just both teams coming up empty-handed in the first half. Ackway would send this one forward and find Boating. Boating sliding through, and you just wonder if he's able to keep his feet, if maybe there's a different story from that pass from Ackway and on the finish. But again, his first action of the season, and so far he's made it pretty memorable. The only way to make it even more memorable is to put one in the back of the net. Here you get the cross in on the play by Thompson, then headed out by Ackway. That one, you just see Ackway going up in the air. Here, going above everyone else, somehow going between three players and just kicking that, even a player of his own in the middle of that one. Here you have great passing coming back and forth by Richmond. You have that diagonal pass, and then there's where Jackson just unsure of what to do, the hesitation. Again, I don't know if he thought Yarrow was going to come out and try to close down and come off his line, but maybe that's what fooled Jackson on that one. A big miss there for Richmond. And here you have a header that would go over, but no danger there. Great cross in by Dennis that goes up and out of play. There you have that great pass the outside, and then Boateng turning, firing, and just another chance there. And if that doesn't hit a Bulldog, that's one that might be able to find frame. Here, great chance by Dennis, and maybe Fitzgerald try and compete for that save of the week. Dennis sends it in, great strike. Fitzgerald able to get his fingertips on it, hits the crossbar, it goes up and out of play. I don't know how he was able to get that one, but he somehow did. As we look at the match stats, 5 shots for Richmond, 3 for Tormenta. Possession right now, Richmond taking advantage, doing a much better job this week than they did. Again, a lot of film work went into play here over the week to try to change the outcome of what happened, just miscues that were being played last week, and this week coming out looking like a different team. Both teams doing an excellent job this afternoon. One yellow card, that to Joshua Phelps of Tormenta back in the 29th minute.
Please use the aisles
as we get ready here for the start of the second half. Tormenta FC, a great look at their away kits First time this season they have worn those. Their home kits are really, I think, up there at top of the league. Richmond, you have that traditional, just all red kit. I guess you have the white on the shoulders and on the back, but if you get a chance to see Tormenta's jerseys at home, that is something that you got to go out and buy. And Richmond, another one. Get out there, get these teams' kits, get the uniform, wear them with pride. You know, the Red Army is out in support wearing those. They're red tonight here in Richmond as we are underway here in the second half, 0-0. Who could possibly come up with 3 points? The next 45 could possibly give us the answer here in Richmond, Virginia. Ball played down the touchline. Richmond, they've had some success there with that long ball. Boateng attacking Yara, and that's going to be forced out of play just because of the Boateng getting on top of Yara there and making it difficult for him to make a decision. Bulldog back to Thompson. That low cross cleared away on the play by Phelps. Dennis plays it back. Malagaze, and they're going to say that's going to go out. Magalhaes played at the University of Maryland. The 25-year-old made 13 appearances with Tampa Bay Rowdies. Also with Rio Grande Valley FC. Played 56 matches with him. He's got a very good left foot. Hasn't had to do much of that in terms of using that left foot this evening. Jackson to Boateng, but he is ruled offside as the flag is up here in the 47th minute. Boateng also bringing a little bit more speed there to Richmond. Boateng and Thompson getting their first starts of the season, their first play of the season as well. These two teams will play one another once again June 22nd. Headed up. Cleared by Thompson. Amancono brings it down with his right. Spins away from Micheletto. Gallardo. Rodriguez. Thompson knocked over. Bulldog loses possession, and then we will have the whistle. Now we'll come back for a kick for Richmond. Gallardo will step back. Gallardo out of San Diego, California, excuse me. He saw time with the U15, 17, and 19 U.S. teams. Thompson. Gomez. Deflecting and having to go back and retrieve it is Nicholas Wells. Magalhaes will just simply play that one back to Fitzgerald. The captain, Rodriguez. Ackway, far side. Amancono right back to Ackway. Across. Dennis, they're doing a good job harassing the Kickers' defense, that back row. Magalhaes. Rodriguez. Amancono, he pulls up, pulling his hamstring. Micheletto into the box, fires, and that one stopped by Fitzgerald. And you hope this is nothing serious for Amancono, who went down to the pitch holding his right leg, and you can't blame Micheletto for continuing on with where he was at. And you just wonder if that, you hope it's a cramp, just hope it's nothing serious here. in the second game for the Richmond Kickers. As there, you see him just really trying to jump to the ball. No contact there happened. And then the save by Fitzgerald. But you hope that everything is all right for Amos Amakona from Ghana. And various Ghana players on this kicker squad. Most recent addition, Charles Boateng. Amakona is able to walk off under his own power, so great thing to see right there. Akwe, another one from Ghana. Supporters out tonight, beating the drums. The River City Red Army. Richmond Kickers lost to Lansing Ignite last week 2-3, but they will see them next week. So they saw them one time already. They're looking to see them a second time next week. They'll play Lansing Ignite 3 different times in the span of 6 weeks. So both those squads are going to know the ins and outs of one another. For Tormenta FC, they will head to Orlando City B. Gomez. Vinyals, El Maestro, across. Wells inside, left foot, and that's gonna curl wide. Try to bend it back in, just unable to get that curl to come more to the right. But here Tormenta early in the second half, as we'll actually see our first sub, but Tormenta getting some chances here. So Amakona will come off.
14, Nick Retzlaff.
And Nick Retzlaff will replace Amakona. You wonder if there's a little bit more to that injury for Amakona, or if just precautionary reasons, but here in the second game, no harm taking him off and getting Nick Retzlaff in there, the 22-year-old out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. Played college ball at NC State. Or North Carolina FC U23s during his collegiate time at NC State. Into the box. And that is going to be blocked. And now we have a player down, Nicholas Wells, for Tormenta. Wells able to get off and at least jog off. Played back by the captain, Eckenrode. Again, great little piece there done on behalf of Richmond's media side there during half. And you wonder if Yannick Eckenrode might get in here in this second half where the brothers would face off. Yannick in that piece was saying they haven't played with one another, been on really the same pitch in about 10 years. Just a year apart. Lars the older of the two. That one blocked away. Dennis plays it back. Wells, good to go. Gomez. Nicoletto. I'm calling it. Just let that one go through. Akwe, right back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald already one save. That coming on a shot by Nicoletto here in the second half. Made a brilliant one in the first half on Dennis on a free kick. Jackson, good job there by Eckenrode, cutting in front of Jackson so he's not able to get to that ball and get a touch on it. Rodriguez. Nicoletto spinning. Gomez just outside the circle. Dennis. Overlapping him to the right as well. That's where he goes. That one away from the behind of Micheletto. Bulldog. Thompson. Agalays. Retzloff. Gallardo. Little pass. Shot, and that's blocked on the play by Yara. Yara making a good stop there. Now, Tormenta looking to go the other direction on the counter, and we'll have a whistle. We'll take a look back at that last chance for Richmond. Gallardo just with a great little through ball, just pops it up in the air a little bit to Lockaby, and then Yara comes out and makes a great save. Here, just this little, oh, just great little touch. Lockaby, it's a toe poke on it, but not enough to chip it up and over the goalkeeper. And Pablo Yara, that's headed away. Shot, and that's going to go well wide. But Pablo Yara with the save of the week for week 1, putting his name possibly in that category for week 2. Important save there here as we are in the 57th minute, and both teams striving to find that first goal as Amankawa will come off, and onto the pitch will be Alex Morel. Morel, 2 goals on the season. He scored in the last game against FC Tucson in the 58th minute. He also scored the very first goal of the season back against Greenville Triumph FC last Friday. A game that saw the first goal, the first assist, the first corner, a sellout crowd in Statesboro. That's just what you like to see more of, is just more sellouts around the league, people getting out and supporting these different clubs. Here, the second week into the 2019 campaign. We have for you tonight Richmond and South Georgia Tormenta FC. 0-0 as Charlie Dennis gets it for Tormenta. Dennis to the side. Wells. Right back into middle. Vinyals. And no one there on a run for Tormenta. Fans, also don't forget about the 2019 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. First round begins on May 7th. Feature a total of 84 different teams that will end in August, with a club hoisting the Open Cup trophy after 8 rounds of play, of single elimination play. As we'll have an offside whistle. Last year, Houston Dynamo was crowned champion. They defeated Philadelphia Union 3-0, but for League One, they'll have 6 eligible clubs who will play in that first round on May 7th and 8th. The draw for that first round will be this Wednesday, April 10th. So one of these clubs could possibly be playing in that Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. The winner takes home $300,000. Runner-up will have $100,000. In the lower level divisions, the highest ranked lower level divisions will take home $25,000. And what that can do for these clubs could help out, and you hope one of these League One clubs can make a run, surprise everyone, kind of like Tormenta has done so far early. And get a club that can go on a run and just surprise people and show how good, how much quality he is here in League One, and you're seeing it right now tonight between the Richmond Kickers and Tormenta FC. Thompson turns it over. Morel just checked in. Substitution replacing Ya Amankwa. Rodriguez reading that perfectly was Morel, just not able to get his foot in front of that. He saw where that pass was going backwards to Magalhaes, trying to step in front, just unable to get his leg on it. Good read there. Just another smart player here for Tormenta FC. Bulldog moving it forward and just unable to hit Boateng, who has been a great target tonight for Richmond. But Bulldog and Boateng finding some chemistry early here. You wonder how that chemistry plays. You can see it in the weeks building in practice, and one of the things that head coach David Bullows, was talking about is just trying to build that chemistry, trying to build trust, and right now you're seeing that trust between Bulldog and Boateng and some of these other players. You're just seeing that there's more sureness out there, especially in that back row. You're not seeing the mistakes that were made, seeing different movements going up front, just miscommunication, just a lot of things going in Richmond's favor this week. That was not the case last week against Lansing. Rodriguez. Bulldog. Gallardo. Trying to cut back in was Lockaby, and that's going to be deflected out of play for a throw-in for the Kickers. Gallardo. Nice back heel pass to Lockaby. Kickers will just play it back and readjust. Ackway. Rodriguez down the touchline. Can Lockaby get there? Somehow it hits the corner flag and then will go out for a goal kick. I don't know how Lockaby got to that. It looked like that was going to roll out on that touchline, but somehow Paul was able to tightrope the line, and then Lockaby able to get there, just unfortunately not able to get the touch to keep it in near the corner, as that one ends up hitting off the flag and going out of play. And now a goal kick for Tormenta. Tormenta again 2-0 on the year. Both those wins coming at home. First road trip of the season. Becken Road will clear that one, and Phelps there. Gomez. Morel. Trying to pass that over Dis, and then a near turnover, and that's going to be pushed to the side to the near touch line. Looked like there you saw some of that miscommunication there. Is here, you have Dennis on the inside. That's where the pass is trying to go. Antley trying to go with his back heel, so trying to clear it, just did not get the clear that he needed. So in that case, it was just misplayed. It wasn't miscommunication there that almost did Richmond in. It was just a bad touch. Thompson. Magalhaes. Rodriguez. 64th minute here in Richmond, Virginia. Retzloff. Played in, and that one just too far for Boateng. You're seeing this Kickers team, the success that Boateng had earlier in the first half, trying to go right back to him here in the second half. Seeing if maybe here in his first game for Richmond that he can find the back of the net. Tormenta still doing a good job at making it difficult though, and Richmond doing the same on the defensive end. Nicoletto. High arcing pass. Wells keeps it in. Wells into the box. Dennis. That one poked away. And then a dangerous pass there into the middle with Dennis just lurking right there in between the two players. And Thompson and Magalhaes. Magalhaes with the ball. Played back by Retzloff. Pando. Fitzgerald will play down to midfield, chested down. Gallardo. And tripped up is Boateng. See the frustration on the face there from John Migleris, the coach for the South Georgia Tormenta FC squad. There you see just that little tug of the jersey. Not much there, but enough to bring Boateng down. And that shot is going to find its way left. Matt Bolduc getting a good look. Just really the theme tonight, just nothing on wood. Looking for the latest USL League One news and content, follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. Who's now back to action. Great way to get a lot of information to various social platforms where you can also make votes like we have for Save of the Week, for Goal of the Week, Player of the Week, just so many different things going on, and then great areas to also get news from various clubs and what's happening with them throughout the season. As we have an injured kicker on the pitch. Again, for Tormenta FC, this is their third game in 8 days, as Boateng was the injured player he's able to get up. For Richmond, that won't happen until September. And they'll have 2 of those. And so we'll go back and we'll take a look at that foul.
For FC Tormenta, leaving the match, number 11,
and then
Charlie Dennis.
Just the drag through by Pando got the back of Boateng's head.
In the 68th minute.
And Dennis will come off the pitch. Dennis with a great chance on a free kick. Just unable to put it away as Fitzgerald made a remarkable save. And now Kristen Hellman in for Charlie Dennis here in the 69th minute. Christopher Hellman, the German. 2016 29th overall pick by Vancouver Whitecaps. Has also played for Charlotte Independence and German club FC Astoria Waldorf. Played college ball at Lynn University. Gallardo down the touchline. Boateng sends it across, but no one there for Richmond on the backside. And now Thompson will collect, plays it in. Kickers with an opportunity. Retzloff deflected. I'm not sure if Thompson was offsides on the deflection, but Nick Retzloff with a good look there from the 22-year-old. Here you see Boateng with the cross. Antley trying to get over there, but Thompson gets there first, sends it back into the box. Bolduc plays it out to Retzloff. And then Thompson Gets a leg on it, but not enough to direct it and get a better angle on target. Pando given a yellow card on that foul against Boateng where he went down that contact to the head. 2 yellow cards in this game, 1 for Phelps and 1 for Dalton Pando. And there you see the push over Gomez, escorting Retzloff to the ground. Gomez. Pando. Phelps. Going across the pitch. Headed forward by Wells. Now the last touch on the play by Hellman. Throwing coming for the Kickers. Hellman seen his 3rd action of the season. First time coming on as a substitute. Fitzgerald. Pando will play that one out. Allow his team to get back and protect. Retzloff. Ackway. Magalhaes. The captain, Rodriguez. Another deep ball to Boateng, but Phelps there with his head and plays it out. This will be a corner for Richmond. That speed of Boateng presenting a problem for Phelps on that one. And you wonder if it was the speed or a little bit of Phelps being a little bit tired. Thompson heads over for the corner kick. Pushing and shoving going on in the box, as there always is. And then a lecture between the 2 players, Ackway and Hellman. Thompson from the corner. Short corner. Throw in now for Richmond. Villardo back to Bulldog. Bulldog try and get around. And they're going to give this one a goal kick. Richmond had an opportunity. Boateng doing enough to get in front of Phelps and make Phelps have to play it out, but then not able to take advantage of the corner kick and then the throw-in. Hellman falls, and then Rodriguez picks it up for Richmond. Lockaby on the outside. We'll have a whistle. But you look back at that first game for Richmond, a much different story this evening, where in that first half, just all things were off, and look back, you're just glad that the team didn't quit and they didn't throw in the towel. Is something that David Bullo especially talked about as they kept working, they kept focusing, they were able to work their way back to 2 goals to 3. They're late, just not able to get a third equalizer, but there was fight there, and just whatever was made, that adjustment at half, they came, that made a difference, and then it's making a difference this week, what they worked on in practice, as Morel chases it down just outside the box. Coming up with a shot, and that's gonna go find its way to Wells. Wells. Dancing, Wells, blocked by Thompson. Towards the end line, sent across, and that one chipped up by Hellman. Just not able to find its way over the 5'11" Fitzgerald. See Wells gets deflected by Thompson. And at the end line, great crossing pass, and then you like the touch there by Hellman. And maybe, if that gets a little bit higher, it can go towards that far corner. I can get over Fitzgerald. But Fitzgerald doing a wonderful job grabbing that one out of midair. And now Richmond going the other direction. Gallardo stepping across. Good jump there to the side. Able to avoid enough of the contact. Boateng. And Boateng on the low line cross, unable to get it by. A great opportunity there by Boateng. And if you're a Richmond supporter, you got to be excited what you are seeing from Boateng here this evening. U20 Ghana national team. Charles Boateng just having a very good game for the Kickers.
Substitution.
As we'll have another substitution, this one for Tormenta. Dalton Pando will go off.
20, Jerry St. Ville.
And Jerry St. Ville will come in. St. Ville out of Haiti. Another player that played at Palm Beach Atlantic University in Division II. Mike Aroa, another player in Division II for Tormenta. Last year's Division II Player of the Year. Another player that can bring the ability to score. Morel plays that back. Anley moves it forward. Lockaby up the touchline. Back way to Rodriguez. 78th minute here in Richmond, Virginia. Josh Toll with you this evening in second week of action here in League One play. Boateng, and they're gonna have another whistle. And now another kick coming for the Richmond Kickers. I've already seen 2 yellow cards go the way of Tormenta. The first one to Joshua Phelps in the 29th minute, and then the second one to Pando. Gallardo sets up. Gallardo sends it high into the sky, and that is going to go up and above everyone and off the stands there. City Park has been around for nearly 90 years. Yalls forward. Micheletto. And we'll have a whistle Getting tripped up was Alex Morel getting clipped on the back of the heels. And we'll have a yellow card, our first yellow card given out to Richmond now, and that one going in the favor of Wahab Akwe. For Akwe, that will be his first yellow card of the season. Just able to get the leg of Morel. This game's gotten a little bit more physical here in the second half. Both teams trying to come out with 3 points. For Richmond, they don't want to start the season 0-2. And for South Georgia Tormenta, they don't want to lose their first game. They want to extend it to 3-0. Kick coming for Tormenta FC. You can see the players shading their eyes. See how the sun plays a factor. Ball in. Tormenta requesting a handball. Not going to get it, and goal kick coming for Richmond. Who's up, who's down, where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings, only on USLLeague1.com. Last week, this Tormenta FC was in the number 2 spot against North Texas SC, but they're looking to change that possibly this week, already with a win on Wednesday. Another substitution coming for you. Yannick Eckenrode, so the younger brother of Lars Eckenrode, getting action as Eli Lockaby will come out, and you wonder how the two brothers will, if anything will be said to one another, if there'll be any chippiness, any big brother beating up little brother. You got to wonder what mom and dad are feeling in the stands, what the family is just thinking, how nerve-wracking it is that both of them are on the pitch at the same time. We'll see how that could possibly play out, but again, a great piece done by Richmond here earlier at halftime about Yannick's relationship with his older brother, Lars. And there you see Lars Eckenrode, the captain for Tormenta FC. Eckenrode out of the University of Michigan. Yannick went to George Mason. Throwing for Scott Thompson of the Kickers. Red Army still going strong. Richmond still going strong on the pitch, but can they find the strength to find a goal? And you wonder here, as we're in the 83rd minute, if there will be a tally that gets put on the board, and if one of these teams will come up with 3 points, as that will go over the head of Eckenrode and out of play. Quick throw in for Tormenta, looking to quickly run the other way, and then tripped up by Eckenrode on the play is Micheletto. Micheletto's up and he's ready to go. Knowing where the time is on the clock, how it is dripping off, and how we are reaching that 90-minute mark, he's ready to get something going and try to get something on the board here. Wells. Antley inside. Cross! And no one there, cleared away by Akwe. Boateng headed back by Eckenrode. Gomez. Flicked on, but no one there now for Tormenta. Hanley, you can see what danger he brings. You just saw it right there. Again, last game, 3 assists in the game against, excuse me, that was not even last week. That was on Wednesday against FC Tucson. And just his ability to create, to find the location of his passes. When you have a guy that completes over 80% of his passes, near 87, that's something that you love to have on your squad. Vinyals gets right back. Try to touch it right over to Morrell. Unable to get it through. Phelps using his height and leaping ability to go above Boateng. Fitzgerald. Couple saves this evening. Most recent really coming against Micheletto here early in the second half, but the really wonderful one was in the first half on a kick by Charlie Dennis. He was able to get his hand on and knock off the crossbar and out of play. Good slide tackle there by Micheletto to take it away from the other 10, Gallardo, and Gallardo with his hands around the hip on Micheletto, allowing, I should say, forcing play to stop. Micheletto wanted to continue running with that, try to get numbers. Wells. Antley. Antley to Gomez. Antley working his way forward. Vinyals. Micheletto. Turn away from Rodriguez. We'll have a whistle, and Micheletto will have a kick. That goes off Hellman. That's going to find its way to Richmond. Now the foot of Nick Retzloff. Retzloff going to Boateng, but good job of stepping, to Gallardo. But stepping through there was Joshua Phelps. Phelps out of Queensland, Australia. Moved to the U.S. after a medical discharge from the Australian military. Retzloff. Aguilez. Gallardo. Eckenroth trying to get to Jackson, but Phelps using that big body of his to shield away Daniel Jackson. Jackson, a pretty quiet evening tonight for the Kickers.
Substitution for Richmond.
And Daniel Jackson will come out. Replacing him will be Alex Ainscough.
Number 12, Alex Ainscough in the 87th minute.
Ainscough out of Canton, Massachusetts. Played at Stanford. 2 seasons with FC Boston. Also played in Germany. So we are in the 88th minute. Still 0-0. Wells. Chip over. Wells able to find it. Rodriguez trying to put pressure on him, and then Wells knocked over from behind by Thompson. Wells not happy with that. Boateng. Boateng with a little bit of space. Plays it outside, Gallardo. And that one, great play there by Connor Antley. Sticking the right foot out and knocked that one out past the near touchline. So he can do it offensively and showing he can do it on the defensive side right there. Trying to eliminate that chance for Richmond. Rodriguez. Acquay. Retzloff. Bulldog near side. Thompson. Retzloff. That's going to go out past the end line here as time continues to tick off. Both these two teams now looking for really a point. If this one stays 0-0, if it does, the Kickers will have their first point in League One play, and for Tormenta, they will continue to show good signs as they will have a draw for the first time, but they will have 7 points on the year if that were to be the case, if this one does remain knotted up. Magalhaes. Hellman can't control Rodriguez, plays it back to Fitzgerald. Ackway, Retzloff. We're in the 90th minute. Well, you know how much extra time is added on here. Gallardo. Eckenrode sends it across. Thompson retrieves it. Rodriguez. Eckenrode. Ackway. Gallardo controlling. Flips it up and over. And just unable to keep it in on the inline is Bulldog. His 4 minutes of stoppage time will be added.
4 minutes.
Actually, to Ainskoff, who just stepped onto the pitch not too long ago. Making a good run. He had that good just little pop pass just right over the top. Nicoletto can't get a good first touch on that. Ackway, Boateng. Good defensive play there by Vignals to take that away from Boateng, headed down by Ackway. Thompson. 92nd minute, Rodriguez. Rodriguez down the touchline, just too much weight on that pass for Bulldog. Just a little bit is taken off that pass. Bulldog has plenty of space to work with and just a good chance for a possible cross. They're here as we are late in the second half in stoppage time. South Georgia Tormenta FC 2-0-0 on the season. Richmond Kickers 0-1 loss and 0 draws. So both teams trying to fight for at least a point, but here Tormenta try and get that third point and maybe a possible win. Bring it into the box and then knocked away by Eckenrode. Good tackle by Eckenrode, and now a throw-in coming. Nicoletto was making a run in the box, had a chance with the ball at his feet, but a great slide tackle, something you were used to seeing from his brother on the other side at that center back position. Morel. Taken away by Richmond. Boateng. And just good job stepping in front of Boateng is Phelps. I think Phelps knew that one time he was beat by Boateng, was going to make sure he did everything in his power to just get his body in front of him and the ball, and that time he did that as he was able to clear it away. Eckenrode with a throw-in as we enter the 93rd minute. I should say as we enter the 94th minute. Thompson across. Retzloff. That one will be knocked out by Nicoletto. Another throw-in coming for Richmond here late in stoppage time. Maybe one final try for the Kickers to get their first victory of the year. But Nicoletto nearly steals it away, and now Gomez will push it forward to Morel. Morel crossing midfield. Retzloff trying to chase him down, trying to harass him, grab him, do whatever he can. Morel's going to be knocked down on the play by Ackway. And now Tormenta with one last chance Fitzgerald just holding on to the select ball, just making sure that everyone is in their right places. It's late in this one. Players on both squads very tired. Can South Georgia Tormenta FC find a late goal here in stoppage time? What another great story that could be here early in the season if that does happen for Tormenta FC. Morrell gets set for the kick. Sends it in. Head up, that's going to go backwards, and that will go out of play for a corner kick as that went off a Richmond kicker's head. The German Christopher Hellman at the corner. Headed up. It's up high towards the back post, and that's going to go somehow in by Hellman. Hellman was somehow able to keep that one in, but unfortunately nothing going for either of these two, as they will end up in a 0-0 draw. Both teams coming out with 1 point. So South Georgia Tormenta FC in all 3 games now have come out with at least a point. Their first 2, they got the victory. 6 points from those 2. Now 7 points with the tie this evening for Richmond Kickers. Well, they improve now to 0-1-1 as they earn their first point in League One play. A tough game for both these two squads. For South Georgia Tormenta FC, they will actually have some time off rather than playing another game in the span of 8 days like they had to do just as last week. 3-8, able to come up with the tie. They will head to Orlando City B. That will be on the 14th. Richmond Kickers, meanwhile, will take on Lansing Ignite for the second time this season. That will be on the 13th, so that will be a rematch from the first week. But this one ends 0-0. We'll be back with some highlights for you right here on ESPN+.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still RV is on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Problem Solvers Investigations with Laura French. Problem Solvers Investigations with Melissa Hippolyte. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 11 on CBS 6 News.
New faces.
New players.
New ownership.
New challenges.
New league.
New opponents.
New rivals.
Joyful.
Authentic.
United.
Still your team.
Still RV is on.
Still the Richmond Kickers.
Welcome back into Richmond, Virginia, where it ended up a 0-0 tie between the Kickers and South Georgia Tormenta FC. Both teams pulling out with 1 point each. And just a hard-fought game for Richmond Kickers. One great thing that you can take, yeah, you had some opportunities that you missed, and you can continue to work on that, try to get better at finishing. But the mistakes that happened last week in the first half were not here this week, as they performed much better here in their second game of the season. As we go back and we look at some highlights here from the second half, Richmond had some opportunities in this one. Boateng, that one deflected off a Bulldog. But for South Georgia Tormenta, just showing their strength this week once again. They didn't have any goals this week, but still a strong defensive team. And there you have that first great save by Fitzgerald. That one back in the first half as he was able to get his hand on it, knock it up off the crossbar and out of play. Richmond would try again. And here you have Yara coming out and making the stop. But what an opportunity. Here you have the beautiful pass forward by Gallardo. And then finding the feet of Lockerbie, and then deflected out by Yara. Maybe one of these players will have save of the week for week 2. If I had to put my money on it right now, I might give it to Fitzgerald with a brilliant one he saw that we saw just moments ago. Here, Gallardo gets a cross, but Thompson comes up, and he comes up wide. That's really just the issue that Richmond had. They had chances. They had clear looks. They had great tries, but just none of them able to find their way back to the net. And just for them, a disappointing tie with all the opportunities that they had. But Tormenta staying strong, not making many mistakes, and that's a big thing. The biggest difference really between this game is Richmond's kicks is just the amount of possession that they have dominated this game. Again, a big change from last week to this week is how they came out and played. But Tormenta here early in League One play already with 7 points for Richmond, getting their first point. Saw 3 yellow cards handed out this evening. Ackway for Richmond getting the 1. Phelps and Pando for Tormenta FC getting the 2 on the other side. But going forward, there's a lot of things that both these teams can work on moving into next week, and I think a lot that both can build off of. But you got to be happy with the result. Even though it didn't come up with 3, still positive points, and that's what you want to move up in the standings. Richmond 0, South Georgia Tormenta 0. For a replay, Juan Oswe and Sharni Yerke, our producer. I'm Josh Toll. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you. Have a great evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.